Hey everyone, welcome back. Now in the last video, we have learned about the VGG16 network. We looked at the architecture, we saw how each and every layer is present in the VGG16 architecture. Now in this video, we'll use the same VGG16 architecture and perform the transfer learning on the task. In our case, it's a binary classification task, which will help us to determine whether a given input image belongs to the class of cat or whether it belongs to the class of dog. So let's get started. Now here, as a first step, I have to import my model. Now this model is called as VGG16 and this is present inside my tensorflow.keras.applications, and inside it there is a module called VG16, and from there we are going to import it. So let me just show you how it would look like. Now I am loading my VGG16 over here. See, there is something called as VGG16 and it says this is going to instantiate my VGG16 model. So it is present as tfkeras application VG16.VGG16. Okay, and these are all the various arguments that we have. Now here, if you look at it, we talk about include top is equal to true, which means when I simply instantiate my VG16, it's going to include my top layers as well. Now here, the top layers refer to my fully connected layers. So that's what it means. And then we have the weights. So here we can specify as what are the weights that I have to load when I'm instantiating my model. Now we'll just come down and let's explore about this weights parameter. Now for this weights parameter, see, so one of non-random initialization, ImageNet pre-training on ImageNet, or the path to the weights of the file to be loaded. That means I can specify if I do not want to load any weights as well, or I can also specify whether I should load a pre-trained weights which has been trained on a ImageNet challenge, or whether I should load my custom weights. So I have all the options are available with me. Next, here we have mentioned as input tensor is equal to none. Okay, so this is just an optional, so we can add it as well. And here we have to specify the input shape. Okay, so this is also an optional shape. So if I don't specify anything over here, by default input has to be in the shape of 224, 224, 3. Okay, and then classifier activation is softmax and number of classes is 1000. So these are the default values that we will have. So this will get loaded when I'm loading this, especially when I'm loading my full model, that is include top is equal to true. So let's go ahead and import the same as well. So here I'm importing my VGG16 and then I'm creating my model as VGG16, and inside the parenthesis I want to load my ImageNet weights and include top is equal to false, which means I don't want the fully connected layers. I just want the layers till it performs my convolution operation. And then I have specified my input shape. This is 224, 224, 3. Now once that is done, I am setting up attribute that's called as trainable that is equal to false. I want to freeze them while I'm performing the training. And because of that reason, I have mentioned as base model dot trainable is equal to true. So I'll just execute this. So this is going to instantiate my VGG16 model. If I represent this as my VGG16 model, hey, inside this big box, I'll have various layers inside this. And what I'm saying over here is make this entire layers as a non-trainable. Okay, it's a non-trainable layers. And I've also mentioned that include top is equal to false. That means I'll only load my convolution layers. I'll not be loading the dense layers. That means I'll have a series of convolution and the pooling operation which will be performed on my input data. Now let's see and let's validate what are the various layers that has been loaded for us. Now to display the same, here I have mentioned as base model dot summary, which will help me in displaying the summary of the model that we have just loaded. So here in the first layer, I have an input layer, and this input layer takes the shape as 224, 224, 3. And this is followed by two convolution layers, followed by a max pooling layer, convolution layer, followed by another convolution layer, max pool layer, and here there are 3 convolution layers followed by a max pool layer, 3 convolution layers followed by a max pool layer, 3 convolution layers followed by my final max pooling layer. And at the end, my max pooling layer output is of the shape 7, 7, 512. So I have loaded only my feature learning part. That means where I'm interested in performing convolution as well as my pooling. Now for my current model, I'm going to use these layers, that is the layers for my VGG16 which has the pre-trained weights, where I have set my trainable as false. I'll use this model, and on top of it I'm going to add my individual layers. Now to build the same, here I'm importing layers and models so that it is easier for me while specifying my individual layers. I am defining my model as models.sequential, and here at the start I'm specifying my base model, that is the VGG16 model which I've just loaded. And this is followed by flattening operation. The reason because if you remember, at the end of my convolution I have the max pooling layer. So at the end of my VGG16 I'm having this max pooling layer. Now if I want to connect this to my fully connected neural network, I'll have to first flatten it. Hence I'm calling this flattening layer. And the output from this flattening layer is connected to my dense layer which has 50 neurons, and this is again connected to 20 neurons which is a dense layer, and in my final output layer I'm having a single neuron which has the activation of sigmoid. Okay, so let's define this model as well, and on top of it I'm going to display the summary, model.summary, to validate whether we have the model as per our requirement. Okay, so we have the output. Now here it says VGG16, and this is the final output that I'm going to get from my VGG16 model, 7, 7, 512. That is my output shape, and this is performing the flattening operation. This is connected to a dense layer which has 50 neurons, connected to another dense layer which has 20 neurons, and in my final output layer I have a single neuron with the activation of sigmoid. Now this is followed by a common operation, that's compile. So optimizer is my Adam optimizer, loss is my categorical cross entropy loss, and the metrics that I want to use over here is accuracy. Okay, so I think I'll have to change my loss as well, because in my example it should be binary cross entropy. So let me just change the same over here. Okay, so I have corrected my loss. My loss is binary cross entropy loss, and my metrics is my accuracy. Now once the compile operation is complete, we can go ahead and perform the fit. Now while calling the fit, it's the same method. We'll call model.fit, we'll specify training data, we'll specify the validation data. Now this time I'm not specifying the number of epochs or number of steps per epoch. I've removed everything. I want to see how my model would perform at the best. So I want to train on my entire data in each epoch. So I want to learn as much as possible from the model, and I'm going to start performing the training. So here I've used the same callbacks which we had defined earlier. So early stopping as well as model checkpointing, and I'm running it for 30 epochs. So I'll just execute this. Okay, so this has started the training. Now I'll pause the video over here, and once the training is complete, I'm going to show how the training has performed, and then we'll analyze our training fit that has been performed by this VGG16 model. Okay, we now have the training completed, and the maximum accuracy that has been reached from this model is 90.820. That's amazing, isn't it, guys? So this approximately took around 10 minutes. Now by training 10 minutes, it has actually given me 91% of accuracy. That's pretty amazing with the computation speed and with just random parameters that I gave, guys. So this clearly means that my model is capable of identifying whether my given image contains a cat or dog with 90% accuracy. Now if I want to improve more further, so I have more options as well. So I'll have to I'll have to again retrain my model. Now this time if I want to retrain, I can switch on the training for my entire neural network, and let's see how it performs. Obviously it would take more time, but that's one of the activity that you can try out. All right, so in this way we can make use of transfer learning and get a kickstart while performing the training on a deep learning model. I hope you enjoyed this section on convolutional neural networks. In the next video, I'm going to give you a summary as what are all the things that you have actually learned in this entire section, and what your learning journey will be as we progress in this deep learning course. So I look forward to seeing you next time. If you're new to us, please consider subscribing, and if you require the code files that we are currently going through, so my code files is already uploaded in my website of Manifold AI Learning. Please go over here, click on the courses. So you can see the course of deep learning with Tensorflow. Please click on this and register over here, enroll for free, and just enroll, and you will be getting the access to the learning management system, and along with that you'll also get the source code which we have used in this section and also in the other sections as well. Now if in case any of the source code is missing, do let us know by writing an email support@manifoldailearning.in, and we'll be able to help you. Thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you next time.